Okay, there you go.
I'm Greg Baum with FEH. We're starting our design charrette process and putting up several different ideas that we heard about at the last advisory committee meeting. And we've generated 10 different scenarios that we think is a good starting point. We're getting input now from everybody here today to see if we've got all of the different ideas documented that we need to look at. So I'd like to hear from you to see if in fact we've got all of the possibilities, ideas here put on paper so that we can then carry the ones that make the most sense forward.
So what's the first one up there?
First ideas are to keep the existing building, and we've gone back and we've kept the most historic pieces of the building, and we understand it's the face of the building, the cupola. That first piece of the building is what's most precious to everybody in the community, and then looking at ways of putting additions onto that building that don't destroy that image and that character of the building. So in this idea on the generation is to put additions off to the side, possibly holding them back so that the whole front piece of that building remains visible, looking for a connection to the sheriff's office on the back side of the building. Another idea is to put an addition between the existing building and the sheriff's office. We talked about the possibility of a courts addition in between the two buildings. This would be that most likely position for it. It would mean some alterations to the sheriff's office and the jail, and some alterations to the tower that's currently there. I mean, this one would be a very disruptive kind of operationally to the sheriff's office. The idea here, though, would allow for an entrance courtyard both to the courts addition and to the existing courthouse. So this could be a different type of a feature than what maybe current history would suggest. The third idea is to wrap an addition around three sides of the existing building, holding it away from the building so that the original building is seen in its glory, and using some glass connectors so that this building, in fact, really does not impact the historic value of the building. Item number 4, option 4, is to look at putting the courts addition just off to the back of the existing building with a small connector. Again, maintaining as much of that existing original building as possible. Option number 5 is butting the addition right up tight to the back of the courthouse and not making it a separate entity. Trying to minimize the footprint on the site as best we can. From there, we went to look at some options where we said that we could maybe look at keeping the existing courthouse for another purpose, as well as building a new courthouse on the site. This option keeps the original portion of the courthouse, a 30-foot separation, and looks at putting a new courthouse building right up to the property line. That would be the only way something of the size we need would fit on the site. Functionally, we're not sure yet if that works, but that's how we would maintain the integrity of the existing building. Then we went on and looked at new building opportunities where the existing courthouse is in fact no longer there. What would be efficient on the site? Putting the building right in the center of the site with parking lot and reorienting the entrance. Very good proximity to the sheriff's office for connection. Number 8 pulls the building as far away from the sheriff's office as possible, puts a shared parking lot in the center of the site with an entry in its current location. Another idea is to pull the building from corner to corner, create the biggest space in between the building and take it out of the park-like setting and just putting it into more of an urban scenario. And another option is to pull the building then all the way up to State Street with a larger shared parking lot on the back side of the building. So those are all of the different ideas that we generated here this morning to investigate further.
Boy, you guys are busy. You just got started.
And the other thing that would kind of come out of this as we start working through some of the different options, there might be variations on the theme for each one of those.
Yeah, we're going to tweak these now, and we want to get input to see if we missed something, if we didn't hear something right.
Did you give her an explanation of why we start with the site and then we work into?
No, we didn't talk about that.
Okay. One of the first things that we're doing in the workshop is we start with how everything works in the neighborhood on the site and everything, and then we'll dial it down into what does it actually look like in the footprint of the building. So that's why the shape might change a little bit from what you see.
Yeah, but you got to start somewhere.
That's right.
So I'll just, here's like people talking, gathering ideas. If this is for the anybody that, if they can't come, they're working, I can throw it up on the Friends of the Courthouse and
Well, we want everybody's input. The many people that come, the better. The more the merrier.
Picture of the architects, looking at the options.